Hey everybody, Shadow Phoenix here. Welcome back to Cities Skylines, episode 2 of building our little city here. Still doesn't really have a name yet. Still trying to think of that. So, thoughts about a name, if you want to put those in the comments, that would be awesome. So, what we are doing today is we're going to build our little suburbia, basically. We're going to take care of most of the residential in today's episode and kind of figure out a general design. Now, as I stated in the last episode, I wanted to do something different than what I typically would do when building a city, which would be these just square blocks, which is our typical American cities are just these big square blocks and stuff. And I didn't want to do that, especially in our residential area. So I was trying to go for these curved roads and kind of get like a little bit of, what's the word I'm looking for? A little bit of nuance, I guess. Maybe that's the word. I don't know. Yeah, I was just trying to get a little bit of nuance to it, a little bit of uniqueness to our city to make it very, very different from, what other cities and stuff you may see. And, when I think, I've looked at, I've seen a lot of movies. I've seen a lot of, pictures and stuff of cities and things like that. And sometimes you see these, really weirdly laid out, residential areas that are just on these curved roads, and just sometimes there's dead ends, and they just kind of go to nowhere. These housing developments basically, and that was kind of what I was going for here. And I do know, yes, it does take up a lot of space in the actual city from what we have, but I mean, we got a lot of room to work with on this map, so it's not a huge deal. I'm not really worried about how much space we use in order to get the objective that we want. As long as it looks good, that's what I want. So that's what we're kind of going for. And, hopefully you guys like my idea behind this as well. So I started out just doing this kind of weirdly shaped thing here, and I don't even know what I was doing with it. I don't even know if most of this is going to stay or not. I am still having somewhat trouble with the tools. All of this was recorded in one play session. So this episode, the last episode, episode 1, episode 2, and then next episode, episode 3, were all recorded in one single recording session on my Twitch channel. And I'm still trying to get the hang of the tools and everything. And I'll be honest with you, for my next recording session, I still don't have a clue what I'm doing yet. Still relearning all the tools if I'm playing this game, plus all these new tools that I don't even know what to do with. Nobody really commented in episode 1 about, any improvements I could make. Nobody said anything about other mods and stuff that I could get, nothing like that. So, yeah, if you guys still have any thoughts on those, definitely let me know in the comments for this episode, so we can get those before we start recording again on the next episode. Now here, let's see, I decided I did want to put a school over here. We're still developing our major areas and things, the things we really, really want in our city. So I decided we was going to put an elementary school over here because we needed to get some education in, and I thought this was a good spot, kind of right over here, close to the middle of our residential area. Right in there, let's see. And I had downloaded a bunch of these different schools and stuff, and I was trying to figure out which one we really wanted. I think I just ended up just going with the one that actually comes in the game, because I thought, yeah, we can change it later. It's no big deal. And I think this is a great placement for it right there too. So we are still developing a lot of our cities still. We're still getting the basic layout. This is about the point where I ran out of cash. So we had to wait a little bit to kind of get our money kind of going here. And also, let's fix up the taxes. So we're going to tax everything to 11%. I've heard that is excellent. That's a good place to start. You can fix it on later on once the city starts getting bigger. And things start becoming more regulated. Once people maybe start complaining about taxes a little more, we can kind of look more at taxes. But 11% I feel is great to start off with, and we're doing quite well with that. Hey, we just leveled up our city once again. Now we're a worthy village, and we got a few more things such as police departments, etc., etc. Looking through some different stuff here. Alright, so yeah, here is where we're going to put, let's get some more commercial because they are asking for some more commercial. So we'll start kind of filling in the blanks of the city. You guys can definitely see everything is kind of taking shape at this point. So let's get our fire departments, our police departments, and our hospitals and stuff. Let's get all of those taken care of at this point. I decided to go with this one that I downloaded. It was kind of neat looking. It was very small town-esque, and I kind of liked it. For our police department, I just basically settled on just the one that comes with the game itself, so very vanilla. I wasn't happy with the placement, so I ended up having to use the Move It tool to move our police station and our fire station over to the side a little bit. That way we could get our hospital and clinic and stuff in there too. Not really a hospital, more of a clinic, I guess you could say. I decided to use this one right here. Was it the Clickerson's Medical Clinic? Yeah, I actually went vanilla with the clinic, I think, too, here. Yep. Alright, so there we go. Our police force is off. Our hospital, our ambulances and everything are off to help everything get kind of situated. And we'll use the Move It tool to start kind of fixing things a little better. Leaving some space on there. We'll probably put some trees and things on each side of that, and we'll develop that more later on. I was thinking about maybe trying to get some more like housing in there if we could, and I was looking at some different ways we could maybe do it. I decided this would be the best option, so just kind of corner it down. And again, still wrestling with these the road tools and stuff in the game. I ended up cutting off most of the power right there and didn't really even notice it, but that's okay because once the residential starts filling up, it will take care of the power by itself. We won't need those power lines eventually. So you can kind of see my plan now for our residential area and our suburban area is what I'm basically going to call it, our housing developments. And before this episode is through, we're going to do a lot more. We're basically going to get the entire shaping of all of the right side of our city pretty much done before we get to the end of this. But we're kind of out of cash. So as you can see here, this is where I started kind of running into a little bit of trouble. I had power and stuff that was going out. We were not sustaining the entire city with enough power. Our wind turbines weren't enough. And there wasn't enough money coming in to handle it. I had basically already used too much building the roads and stuff. So I couldn't even place any more wind turbines down. I was able to get one down before I ran out of cash again. And that's when I decided, you know what, let's just go ahead and we're going to take a loan at this point. Shouldn't be too much to pay back. That way we can get some more power. Definitely got somewhat of a wind farm going over there. We'll take a look at the power in a later episode and figure out a better way to do that. But for now, I think wind turbines are the best way to go. I am really wanting to get a couple of the expansion packs for this game right now. I'd like to get Snowfall, Mass Transit, maybe even Green Cities. They are all on sale right now, but unfortunately I don't have the cash to get them. As much as I want them, I can't afford them at the moment. So they will have to wait. Maybe I'll catch them on sale at another time. But they would come so much in handy, I think, for building our city here. And there's a lot of things that we could probably use, but we're just going to have to wait. I love these different buildings and stuff. The Dairy Queens. Instead of a KFC, we got a JFK. I don't know what's up with that. I think I'm going to switch that building out. I'm not too keen on that one. Taco Cell instead of Taco Bell. Again, hey, if you guys know any assets, if there's any like little like commercial businesses or anything that you know of that are on the workshop, definitely let me know about that. I would love to get some more actual businesses and stuff in there that kind of develop the city a little more instead of just using generic stuff. So I'm definitely not a very vanilla person when it comes to playing this game. So now let's kind of work on the other side, and we will just kind of develop this out just a little more here. We'll get some more residential out through here. Because, I mean, you can see the green bar down there. They're calling for residential. They want more and more and more residential areas. So we got to keep fulfilling that up for them. And we'll fill this up. Also, more residential. I probably could have, I did speed this up slightly. In other words, it was going to be a much slower video. So I did kind of, I doubled up on the speed a little bit, so it is going a little faster. But it's not really time lapse, really, but more just a little faster speed so we could like discuss things, and you know, we got a lot of footage and stuff to go through. So connect these roads up here, and I'm just moving these curvy roads just kind of everywhere in there. I'm just filling in as much space as we can. We'll probably do something with maybe some parks or something in the middle of those later on. Add a few more turbines there. Keep up with the power. This vital stats mod is very, very handy for keeping track of your power, your water, and everything. As long as you actually remember to look up at it, it does help. But it keeps from having to go in and like look at each thing individually to see what your stats are. You got everything right there in a little block, and you can minimize it and maximize it as you choose. Very, very handy mod. I suggest that one if you're going to play the game. Alright, so I went over and I did work on the industrial a little bit more. We added some more industrial, just another couple blocks. Nothing really to see over there, and I didn't feel it really worthy, so we kind of skipped that. Now we're going to put some more education in, so I'm going to go with a high school. Again, I downloaded quite a few different assets and stuff for high schools and just regular schools in general. But I still went with just vanilla on that one because I didn't really like, you know, once I actually got them and was looking at them in the game, I just wasn't too happy with it. So we're going to move them over just a little bit too, because we're going to try to get some parks and stuff in here as well. Maybe, I was hoping to try to get maybe just, you know, any kind of park or something in there that would kind of help the area and maybe get the residential value up. Move that over just a little bit more slightly, and we're going to fit this little playground in here. And since that's an elementary school, I think the playground is perfect right there. What we'll probably do, again, later on, once we actually start kind of getting our city developed and going to where we want, we're going to come back and we're going to start placing down like the tiny little details. Just like I do in Planet Coaster, I'm going to detail the littlest things in the game as well. Specifically placing trees, fences, sidewalks, all that. And the housing is in so much demand that it's really hard to keep up. So we're gonna add some more of that here. And that's why this episode right here is all about the housing, is because they wanted so much of it. It was so hard to keep up with it that, you know, this is where I kind of went off the deep rail, I suppose you could say, and just kind of started adding more in there. And we're going to expand this out, kind of like we did our industrial zone over there. We're just going to make a straight road right off the side. This gives people another ability to get over into the deeper parts of the residential, I should say. Instead of having to go up and around and going through all those roads, this just gives them more maneuverability in the city. So we don't have so many roads, just like so much traffic on one road. I struggle so much with these roads trying to get them right. I did play around with a move it tool a little bit as well to try to move some of the roads out of the way and move them here and there, but sometimes when I'm doing that, I ended up messing more things up than I do trying to fix. So yeah, I'm not great with the move it tool and roads. There we go. Alright, finally got those two connected. I'll zone that there real quick. And we will take a look here. We're going to need some more power. Yeah, it's in the yellow, so do we want to put more in there? Yeah, we ended up, I think, putting more in there. We also added a little bit more industrial, I think, here in a minute, too. And we're probably going to move these. The wind farms are kind of getting way down into the industrial area there that's going to be going over that way. So we're going to end up moving those wind farms out of the way. They are also, now when I originally placed them, all of that wind area over there was in the darkest blue, and then now it's not. So I don't know what changed there, but for some odd reason it did. So again, I cut out more of the, you know, useless things that didn't need to be really talked about, just so we can kind of come over here and we're going to finish off our residential stuff over here. And we're just going to build these roads over like this. And yeah, I had no idea what I was doing here. I was just trying to, oh, let's curve this way. All right, and we'll curve it back around this way. And we'll curve it this way. And then I kind of come up with a basic idea of what I wanted, so it ended up I didn't have enough room to do what I wanted. So I was like, okay, what if we curve it this way and then we bring it back over? Alright, so at this point, I'm like, you know what? We are going to need more space. So I think the best option is probably to buy another piece of land, which will be the first piece of land we actually purchased for our city here. And we're going to go more to the right over there, and we're going to grab that by the lake or the river. Not the lake. It's not a lake at all. Ah, love watching those little guys build. And we'll connect this. Well, obviously, you're going to need water down there. And we're going to have to definitely put some electric poles across the street there, across our interchange. I don't know why I had the power plant out. I think I was looking at the power plant. I was like, we need more power. Should I add power down here? No, we're just going to do this. So I decided to go... I first went with these posts, and then I was like, oh wait, that's the wrong ones. We can probably do this with the rule posts. So I went back, and we're going to use these instead right here. And just cut them across the road. Make them straight. There we go. And look how that looks. It's not too bad. Alright. So, yeah, and it's developing. They're liking it. They got power. They got water. So next up, let's go ahead and we're going to purchase this next piece of land here. I didn't have enough money, so since we needed the money, I took another loan because we paid the other one off there in a section where I'd cut out there. And we're going to go with this piece right there. So there, we bought that. Now we can expand our main road out a little bit here by... That's not really a main road, but we're going to call it Riverside, I think. And we will just run that by up in there. There we go. I probably don't want straight roads, though. But I ended up putting straight roads there. But I got to change them in a minute. For some odd reason, I could not get this to connect right there. And I think it was the terrain levels. I'm not 100% sure. So we were just... I was like, okay, let's flatten this out. Oh, wait, you can't flatten it out because the road's there. You have to move the road or not have road there to get rid of that. Somehow or another, I got this really cool little area there with a bridge right there, and I kind of like that, so that's going to stay, I think. We may expand upon that at a later time. But I did like the little bridge, so I didn't want to delete it. Alright, and use select our brush tools, and we're going to adjust the terrain here a little bit. We're going to flatten all this out. And there we go. Flatten, 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 flatten. Alright, and now... Oh, more flattening. Okay, so let's take our road. And we're going to not do straight. Let's... Like, again, I was trying to do straight here, and I was like, no. Let's curve this. What I may end up doing is taking the river and expanding the river a little bit and taking everything off of one side And we may do something more with the roads along the river and do some cool stuff with the river, I think, here in this area. But, you know, main thing right now, just to get a city that's developing on its own and we don't have to worry about the little things. That way we can kind of concentrate on the details. So as I did say, the first few episodes of this new series will probably be kind of boring to most people who play Cities Skylines quite a bit. But it is just the beginnings, and you know, me trying to get the hang of the tools is probably driving some of you guys absolutely nuts. Just like, no, why are you doing this? It's easy, just do this. You know, well, if it's easy, maybe some tips and stuff in the comments will definitely help, because I haven't played this game in years, and this is my first time coming back to it. And you know, I know I keep saying that, but it honestly is. I haven't played this game for a very long time. I love this game, though. It's so much fun. And here, I fumble with this road for I don't know how long trying to get it right. What I should have ended up doing was just fixing it right there, just leaving it alone, and then using the move it tool to get it where I wanted. But I didn't. I just kept fooling with it, and I was like, nope, that's not working. All right, delete that. Try it again. Try it from this angle. Nope. Try it from this angle. Delete those. I did everything in the world except use the move it tool. And finally somebody was like, why don't you just use the move it tool? And I was like, oh, yeah, that's probably a good idea. We'll do that. Which is what I end up doing here in just a second. See, I was kind of happy with that, and then there was like, just use the move it tool. And I was like, all right, that's close enough. We'll just adjust these around a little bit. It's not perfect, but it works. And zone it, and we're going to add the power. We're going to add the water to the area, and that is pretty much going to be it for this area. So we've got our residential area kind of developing here. You guys can kind of get an idea of what it is I'm doing at this point, and kind of a basic shape of this city, where things are going. In the next episode, we're going to go into our specialty industrial area. We're going to start farming a little bit, and which is something I've never done in the game before. I've never done the like special industries, basically farming, the agricultural, forestry, all of that. I've never done any of that before, so we're going to play around with that in the next episode. So once again, mods, assets, things you guys think I should take a look at, comment below, leave those, and I will take a look at them and see if we should take a look at it. Tips and other things are also very much welcome as well from the pro players out there. In the meantime, I am out of here. My name is Shadow Phoenix. I will see you guys in the next video. Later. Hey everyone, if you'd like to help support me and my channel, I have a Patreon page where you can do just that. You can pledge anything from $1 or more. Anyone who pledges $15 or more gets a unique, specially designed roller coaster and Planet Coaster made just for them. My little way of saying thanks. You can also just send donations as well if you don't want to join Patreon. And you can find those links in the video description below. Every tiny red cent I make from these means the world to me and is extremely helpful. If you're interested in my PC setup that I work with and play on that you see here, every piece of the system is described below with links to Amazon if you want to purchase them or anything else. Thanks for tuning in to my videos and my channel. If you aren't already a subscriber, click that on the screen below. And you can also check out a few of my other videos on the screen here as well. You can keep up to date on what's going on in my own little world via Twitter or watch me stream live on Twitch as well. Links are in the video description below. So wherever you are in the world, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night.